Okay, let's look and see what we need to do to get our boards made after we've finished our Altium designs. So let me take a look. Here's our simple op-amp design that I use when I make these Altium videos. A couple of schematics and a PCB. And I think we've already gone over all this, so you'll remember how to go through and say fabrication outputs to make your Gerber files. Remember, you want to use all used layers and hit OK. And then we'll come back again and say fabrication outputs, just like we did previous. NC drill files. Make sure that the units are the same as you did for the Gerber files and the format is the same, inches and 2x5, and we tell it OK, and it's going to generate the files for us. When it generates the files, we'll see a subfolder called Project Outputs for Op-Amp. I'll open it up, and here's all the files we generated. This is our Gerber files and our drill files. What we need to do is make a zip file out of these. So I'm going to come here and highlight them all and right click, and I'm going to tell it to send to a compressed zip file, and there it is, my op-amp zip. Alright, so now I've made that file, and that's all my Gerbers and my NC drill files. We'll come back to this in a minute. This is the files that we're going to send to the board manufacturers. Alright, so let's go to a couple of board manufacturers. There's two common ones that we use. JLCPCB.com and PCBWay.com. You can use either one. They both give us the same quality boards. It's not a problem. You'll need to go on and make a sign on for yourself, an account. And then after you do, we can go through and get quotes. So let me start with JLC PCB first. Here's how to make a quote. I'm going to come right off their home page and say quote. And it's going to say add your Gerber file. So that's the file we just generated, the zip file. So I'm going to come here. Let's see, that was that little op-amp right here. And that was under Project Outputs for Op-Amp right here. Look, there's the zip we made. This is the date I made it. This is our hurricane day. So I'm going to highlight that, tell it open. It's processing our Gerber files. And there's actually the picture of the little board, the same as we had in Altium. It's going to ask you some questions. The dimensions it figures out automatically from the Gerber files. It's a two-layer board. It figures that out. There's only one design. It's a single PCB. The PCB thickness is 1.6 millimeters. That's normal for us. That's what we want to use. Green is the cheapest and fastest way to get your board. If you want to spend more money and wait longer, you can pick a different color. It's finished with lead. The copper weight is 1 ounce. And I don't know if I mentioned this in previous videos, but when they say 1 ounce, what that means is there's 1 ounce of copper over 1 square foot. It ends up being about 35 microns thick. So that's 1 ounce of copper. There's no gold fingers. We're not going to worry about having these things here, right? We're not doing castellated holes. That's like when you have a pad with a hole in it. You'll see these on some devices. It's at the very edge of the board, so the hole is like half of the hole and half of the pad. That's a castellated hole. We're not using those in our designs here. You can pay more money and it'll remove the order number. Now this is a number that the company is going to put on the board for you. I wouldn't worry about it. I don't ever do that. I just let them leave it on there. Alright, so once we do that, we can tell it to save to cart. Look at the cost. You're going to get 5 PCBs. It's $2. I'm going to tell it save to cart. Bing! There it is. Now I'm going to remove these. These are ones we were doing earlier. This is for the DSP course. I'm not going to order these boards because I don't want to waste the university's money here, but I'll show you how to do it. Now that we have this here, we can tell it check out securely. And it wants to know where do you want to send it. Billing information. Right, I can just leave these the way they are. Right, it wants to know how you want to pay for it. I can tell it with PayPal. That's how I usually order mine, with PayPal. And away we go. I'm not going to order these boards today. Let's go to JLC. Let me say, what's JLC? Let's go to PCB Way, and we'll see the same thing. We're going to tell it a different company, but we're going to do the same functions. I'm going to tell it, get a quote now. And on their page, they're going to ask all this information, or we can click this right here. Quick order PCB, upload Gerber files and autofill the parameters. That's what we want to do. So I'm going to click here. It's going to say add Gerber file. Now let's see, I'll go back to the same old file. Let's see, it's under there, and then we have the op amp. There's the op amp, project outputs, there's the zip file. So it's going to calculate it. Detected 2-layer board. That's right. I don't know why it made the picture so small, but I don't really care. There's the online Gerber viewer if I wanted to look at it that way, but I'm not going to bother with that. I just want to keep my board that I know I made. And you'll see it fills in all the same thing. It's FR4 material. It's 2 layers. It's 1.6 millimeter thickness. Minimum hole size, or we're not going to make holes that small for design 1. Minimum traces 6 mils. That's 6 thousandths of an inch. You're not going to make traces any smaller than that. Green, again, is the cheapest way to go. The silk screen is white. No gold fingers. Gold fingers are not the James Bond movie, but gold fingers are sometimes you'll see at the edge of a printed circuit board. They'll have little gold contacts that could slide into a socket. That's a gold finger. Of course, it costs more because they have to plate it with gold. All right, so all this stuff we can leave just the way it is. We don't have to change anything. They're going to charge $5, and they'll build it in 24 hours. You get 5 boards. I can tell it to save to cart. And then we can check out, right? Proceed to checkout. Same thing. I can use PayPal. I can ship with DHL. I can do all this and place my order. I'm not going to place the order now because I don't want to spend the money from the university just to do a demo. You guys, I'm sure, will have PayPal accounts and you can ship your boards this way. But I just wanted to show you how easy it is to put your Gerber files in and order a board. And you can do it with PCB Way, JLC PCB. There's another one that I haven't used. Let's just look at it. PCB Go. I can't imagine it'll be much different. Same thing, here we go. They have quotes. You can put in your amount of your layers and your size, and it'll give you a quick quote. You can use them too. I haven't ever used them before. Other people I talked to have used them and had the same quality boards, so you have a lot of options. All right, if you have any questions or a problem, I can't help you if the problem is with the company, but if you have questions on trying to figure out to generate your Gerbers or something, just give me an email or reach out to me or the TAs, and we'll do the best we can to help you.